What are we doing out here? Where are we?
We're at Benelli Park, testing the bike, playing with it.
Breaking it?
Breaking it.
We broke it.
The shaft coupler was a spring type of shaft coupler, and it broke because there was too much torque on it.
And who was riding it when it broke?
I was riding it.
That's right.
It's all my fault. I was climbing a steep hill, giving it too much gas.
Vance, why were we using that shaft coupler?
Because it was the one that they could ship here in 2 days.
I see. What happened to the previous shaft coupler? Why couldn't we use that one?
It's on a boat from China.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes.
We can use it in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
After this is due.
So what are we going to do in the meantime?
We're going to pretend that we're filming the bike and just pedal it around. It looks the same.
I've had a lot of school projects over the course of my 4 years here at Cal Poly, and for me this one feels the least like a project because I enjoy doing it. I love testing the bike. I love filming. I love just figuring out where it could possibly break, and I love that we could make this as a senior project because it's something I'd actually want. That's what's been driving me this whole time is I'm designing something that I actually want to make for myself, for my kids, for whatever. And that definitely drives you in a way that grades just won't be able to.
The first bike taught us how not to run an electric motor. We ran that thing way too hard, way too tall gearing, and we got it way too hot. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons. That bike was definitely an electric assist. It helped you out at above 10 miles an hour, up to like 25 or 30. But before then, it was useless. At about 25, it signed off. The first bike taught us the limitations of an electric motor. You think they have this huge RPM range, but they really don't.
So we learned a lot about electric bikes the first time we tried to make an assist kit, and we found that we really wanted variable power transmission to be able to hit those high top speeds and also have enough torque in the lower speeds to really have that sporty feel.
just the availability of parts at a reasonable price was one of the biggest hurdles we had to overcome. Getting a motor that had decent power and decent efficiency and huge battery packs and the large speed controller at reasonable prices, that was tough. And then for this bike, I mean, getting gears that were usable, getting gears that were strong enough, and not paying ridiculous prices for them, that was the biggest challenge. And we ended up stealing, the bevel gears from an angle grinder and the straight cut gears from another old hub motor. So we salvaged some good parts and made it cheap. But yeah, we could design anything we want, but it's a matter of finding it cheap and finding it available, and that's what limited us. So some of the parts for the transmission were fairly critical. So we got those machined on a CNC water jet, and my Aunt Shirley and my Uncle Ken saved our butts on that one. They came through at the last minute, let us use their machine, helped us out machining those, and cut those out with a water jet, all precise, and came back and milled and drilled by hand. Besides that, the rest of the fabrication was done with hand tools, a little bit of welding, some hand grinding, all that kind of basic hand tool stuff.
The manufacturing of the transmission was almost done. There were just a few kinks that needed to be worked out, some things that needed to be ground down, some washers that needed to be cut to size. And so we got assembled, all three of us together. We all drove out to Valley Center to the workshop where we were at, and all three of us were working on different things, oftentimes at the same time. Some buddies came over to help film. We did some filming while we were doing that.
I thought about these things,
But you never thought about all of them at the same time.
Yeah. You're putting this in the wrong hole. I was looking at it wondering, wait a minute, why isn't it like that?
We'll figure it out eventually.
I appreciate your
I
patience.
even laughed at you.
Yeah, I appreciate your laughter. Well, you laughed with me, didn't you? Was I laughing?
No, I was laughing.
I'm not
I was laughing.
I'm not laughing.
I was laughing at you.
What do we got there?
Gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain. A jump off, nobody gonna know. Can't you see? Whoa, can't you see what that woman, Lord, she been doing to me? Can't you see? Can't you see what that woman, she been doing to me?
The last time we had our transmission here, I drove the wheel directly to a sprocket that we tucked in behind the disc brake. So the motor had its own chain drive that was separate from the pedals. And this time, we're sticking the motor in the frame triangle and driving the cranks, which we added freewheeling cranks. And then from there, we're using the primary drive chain to take the power to the wheel.
Oh, can't you see what that woman, Lord, she been doing to me? Can't you see? Can't you see what that woman, she been doing to me?
We finished assembling the bike. We loaded up all of our stuff. We had a whole bunch of camera stuff we needed to bring. We had all kinds of tools, replacement bolts, screws, whatever, in case something broke. We loaded all that stuff into the back of the truck, including all of our other bikes. cameras, the computers, the GoPros, the tripods and everything. And we headed off to Benelli Park to do some filming and some riding.
We're out here at Pudding Stone Reservoir. Beautiful Pudding Stone Reservoir, San Dimas, California. Benelli Park. It's kind of a nice place for us to test. Some open parking lots, lots of trails, some grass, some playgrounds. Out here on a weekday, it makes it nice. There's no one here.
With our current setup and our highest gear, we can get about 35 miles an hour top speed, and when we're in our lowest gear, we have enough torque to easily climb the steepest of hills. So we're really getting a full power range, and that's something we didn't see before when we didn't have our variable transmission.
They ask how long does the battery life last is one of the most common questions. And how much power does it have? And I think those are the main questions they ask. How much power and how much battery life? How long does the battery last? So the battery life, now that I have ridden the bike enough, I can say that it goes to about an hour and a half. You can play for an hour and a half, which is a long time, and that's only with 2 batteries. If there were 4 batteries, it would go 3 hours. And then as for how much power it has, I pretty much tell them it has too much power sometimes, because it's so powerful. I explain how when I explain it this way: whatever I want to do, it takes me there. If I see a hill, it climbs it for me. If I see, a straightaway, it takes me as fast as I want to go. There's almost no limit as far as I'm concerned.
The bikes that are out there available for sale are typically, they're either one of 2 categories. They're street legal, and so they're limited to under a horsepower and up to only under 20 miles an hour. Or there are the high-performance, totally off-road, based on downhill mountain bike, gnarly off-road bikes. They're like 10 grand or more. So there's this huge separation, and our bike falls somewhere in the middle. It's definitely way more powerful than the street legal bike. We have we have the capability of having like 8 times street legal power. 10 miles an hour over the speed limit easy. So it's definitely not street legal. And it's fast.
I better start now. I better start. Quiet little voices, quiet little voices.
We wanted the bike to be designed in such a way where the rider could pedal or where the motor could pedal, either one. And it needed to be designed in such a way where you could be pedaling one moment and then the next moment the motor is going, and the next moment you decide to start pedaling again. It had to be very much back and forth, whatever the user wanted. And so two things: we needed the gear ratio to be right for that, and we also needed there to be one-way ratcheting sprockets that would allow the motor to spin without spinning the pedals, or for you to spin the pedals without turning the motor. The throttle is up by the right handlebar, just like any other motorcycle, so it feels natural. Well, we chose not to do regenerative braking because, frankly, it's kind of stupid. The amount of power you get back from the weight of the bicycle turning a generator, it sounds cool, but in practice, you're getting almost nothing back. So, yeah, the reason why we can't use our motor for regenerative, for getting energy back going downhill, is because one turn of the crankshaft is equivalent to about 143 turns of the motor, and you can imagine that if there's any resistance in that motor, 1 to 143, you're not going to be able to turn that motor.
Here at Pudding Stone Reservoir to film and help test the bike, and it's been the most fun I've had all quarter. It's a beautiful day, and we've absolutely thrashed our bike, and we've tested it to its limits. We've gotten some good data. We've collected most of our data for our speed controller, which is getting us real-time power data and torques and current from the battery. So
I went easy the first time because I wanted you guys to ride. I didn't want to break it right off.
yeah,
And then I hand it to Nathan, and he goes up the steepest hill that you can see, at like starting with like no momentum, and the thing just tracked it
I
up.
don't recall him helping pedal either.
No,
I
just stood there.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there.
And I was a little worried about it, but it just kept it took a beating. I mean, I was slamming it through corners and bouncing over rocks.
I definitely hit a lot of curbs with some pretty good speed, so that might have dislodged the chain once.
So am I wheel wobbles now?
No, it's a different issue. That was a boulder.
I think our bike, I think a lot of mountain bikers or road bikers have something against electric bikes. I mean, right? You say electric bike to like a purist, and they look at you funny, and they don't like the idea of electric bikes. But we're not trying to. This bike isn't a replacement for a mountain bike by no means.
Yes.
And it's not a motorcycle either, and it's somewhere in between, and it's totally fun, totally unique.
It's not a replacement for human power at all.
It's just a different fun toy to play with, right? It's not a mountain bike. It doesn't do the same thing as a mountain bike.
It's way too heavy to be a conventional mountain bike. All that extra weight we added makes it...
Whoa, easy.
Yeah, 13 pounds. I don't know.
Like 10 pounds,
what
man.
you're throwing around.
No, you're right.
Pretty heavy.
You're right, though. It's not a mountain bike anymore. It's a toy.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna see that, dude.
Well, don't you have to put it that way. Can you see that dude in the background?
Actually, right behind your head.
Oh, really?
Remember, actually, I know that I broke it today. I'm the reason we can't ride it anymore. Okay?